Now I'm selling product. Look at me. Hi, everybody. Broadcasting live. Now we're recording. It's like gorilla. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. There's Eric! See, I didn't know you were going to actually... Sit down on the couch, Eric.
Yes, sir. Sorry.
All right. I wasn't sure you were going to... Papa squat. Papa squat. I'm joined by Eric Mitchell for everybody. This is gorilla style, isn't it? Hold on. I'll even change it to a different aspect ratio. And we'll change that. I'm here with Eric. Good, everybody, Eric. All right.
Hi, everybody.
There we go. Broadcasting, streaming out to everybody on the list, as usual. We're at the Short Sale Solution booth. I was just literally selling them here. The only people who don't touch commission. I love that. All right. 1 out of 4 deals right now is a defaulted property. So, Eric, who many of you know from going to the event and so forth, you're a mortgage broker. You're doing the one day after short sale finance.
We are. Well, we're a direct lender. We're now doing mortgages 1 day out of a short sale, as long as they don't default, which is why it's fabulous to work with professional short sale negotiators.
I agree.
So that the short sale can be negotiated. And, they negotiate the short sale with no default. Client can short sale the house, buy house the very next day, and everybody wins. The realtor is getting 3% on the listing, 3% on the buy side. It's a free service to the homeowner. Short sale negotiators charging either the bank or the borrower. Now it's just a matter of how do you get the leads? How do you get in front of people? How do you get them to respond to you? Which is where your system comes into play.
Again, this has been a shameless plug for me, but Diana is sitting by a phone trying to buy new shoes today. 213-706-0040. Tell her NAR special. Get the Monster at a discounted rate and don't pay $12.97. Now, with that said, what have you seen at the show? You're like me. You're obsessively looking for a lead source or a data source or something.
We're really looking for new ways to create value for our real estate broker partners and our realtor partners, and this show is grossly overwhelming. There's 400 booths here.
There are 400 booths. Now I'm on a side that has 200, and of the 200 I was actually happy to find 4 quality, maybe a handful, 6 quality booths that I think would apply that aren't.
Yeah, that's always the way. I agree with you. From our standpoint, I would clearly identify around 6 companies that I felt had a very unique, innovative, and implementable strategy for realtors. And so it's exciting to be able to come and see what's going on. And there's a lot of the same
yeah.
Every year. We're the best, we're the greatest, we're the biggest, we're the, and that's great. But I'm always looking for that one new company, or that company that we all know of, but they came out with a new platform, a new strategy, a new structure. And so yeah, I would agree with you on this side of it. There's about, from our standpoint, there's about 6.
Did you look at RESAF, which is the Facebook of real estate agents, or at least that's their angle? Yeah, as I can tell.
No, there's a few companies like that here.
Are there?
Yeah, no, there are. There's a lot of web.
It's definitely a web-based event. I would say
technology
is the key to this event.
Oh my God, yes.
And then you've got to learn, and I was just having a conversation with Diana about this, and it's the topic of today's debate. There's a difference between a click, there's a difference between a lead, there's a difference between a conversion. In classic fundamental marketing, I'm a direct marketer, there is the data, like a realty tracker, whatever, that's sold by some here at this event as a lead. They're actually buying Realty Track or CoreLogic's data and selling it as a lead source.
Well, and I would say that leads you can go to the phone book and get leads. Those are leads. Those are human beings that have registered to be in the phone book. Those are leads.
But I would say that that's a data source.
Great.
I would want it refined or opted.
Well, I would look at, there's just a different quality of lead. Like there's names and phone numbers. I mean, a lead is anybody who's in a house. I mean, door knock. Those are leads. They own a house. They might want to buy. They might want to sell. They might want to. Those are leads. But they're just not good leads.
Right. Okay. Okay. But
right.
When I think lead, I think I go out a shot to move them up.
Well, your mechanism generates good leads.
Well, it creates a warm, fuzzy lead, without a doubt about it.
Well, you're targeting somebody that's raising their hand, saying, "Hey, not only do I fit your profile, but yes, I'm interested in come talk to me, please."
Right, and it's funny that on the drive up, and it was sort of my basis before I started this event. On my drive, I re-listened to Seth Godin's permission-based marketing,
right,
and listening to that from the food chain. And there had been a long-standing debate between Diana. She goes, well, your marketing piece actually starts off as an interruption-based piece. And Seth actually states, to get people into the permission chain, it's going to take something to put bait on the hook. There's got to be bait on the hook to begin with. I think I evolved past that. It is an opt-in system. They are looking for a delivery. They are looking for an information gap.
But I think to get their attention requires a pattern interrupt. What I've learned to call a pattern interrupt.
Well, Quantum leads, just by the display of their booth, they're intentionally wearing multicolored shirts to stand out from being the drone of all the booths.
Right.
It's smart marketing.
It clearly defines that they work there, and please approach me, and I'm not. Because a lot of the booths you walk in, I don't know who works there. I don't know who's a consumer. It might be a realtor. Who do I talk to? I can't find their flyers. I can't find their pamphlets. I don't even know what they do. Their booth isn't clearly defined. Their message isn't clearly defined. And I swear to God, there was one booth where I walked up and I grabbed a pamphlet off the thing. I said, "Are you taking business cards or are you scanning badges?" And she looked at me like a deer caught in the headlights. Like, what do you mean? I said, well, to track the people that are coming through here, do you collect business cards, or do you track this? Right. And she says, oh, you just punch it in the laptop right there. And I look at the laptop, and there's a flashing cursor, and I said, punch what? It's like, your number. You mean the number off my badge? No, your membership number. Membership to what? Membership to our company. I don't even know what your company does. And you're telling me you don't. Oh, bad marketing. You know what? Hold on. Too painful. Can't do business with you. Can't do business. I'm out. Right. Right there, and I still don't even know what they do.
I'm walking around with my iPhone doing a live stream, and I don't have everybody jump out of their booth going, hey, why are you running a video stream?
It's incredible.
And the 5 or 6 people that jumped out on the video stream who were aggressive enough to go, I'll tell you about my product, they're willing to defend the product. And I respect that on a level. I'm not saying, again, following the basics, you're not going to sell a real estate agent. I don't even care at this show. There are buyers.
This is not. You're not looking to sell.
This is an educational source.
Yeah, for me, a trade show. If I'm a booth in a trade show, my only goal is to collect contact information, leads, to follow up next week.
Right.
I'm not going to sell you on using my services here at a trade show. I'm always asking to say, hey, if you buy our website at this trade show, you get leads. I am not buying your freaking anything here at a trade show. I got 400 booths I got to get to.
Yeah, right.
Brother, just tell me what to do. Give me your pamphlet. I'll give you my card. Let's circle around next week.
You'll send me an email
with all the day. That's the mission of a trade show. So anyway.
I'll give you an example. The cruise incentive people.
Yeah.
Crazy model. You can have 4 nights, 3 days for $125 or some ridiculous amount of money.
Right.
I'm like, all right, I'm in. I'll send it to my list. It's a great deal. Well, you got to buy it today at the show. Wrong.
That
means you're after a commission.
Wrong
That's
answer.
not going to happen.
That's correct.
It's not going to happen. Instead, I go down to a display advertising who I just shot. By the way, one of the best data sources I've seen. $195 a month for an interactive window display for a high traffic.
Yeah, I saw that. She's
brilliant. Mom and pop, customer service. I like that.
Love it. There's a competitor over here, but you got to pay $12,000 for the machine.
I'm going to pay $195 where they got to input information to get their data. She's going to offset it with other advertisers in my area, so that it's $195 a month for 3-year contract. Where do I sign up? That's one deal for sure.
Yeah. No. There's so many good ideas, but for each individual realtor, each individual office, some of those are going to make sense. Like if you're an individual realtor having an office display, you're just a realtor. How's that going to serve you?
How's that going to serve you?
Right.
No, it's a data gathering source.
But as a brokerage, how do you not have it?
How do you not have it?
Yeah.
Well, and I said this on yesterday's broadcast, there are 4 different digital display people at this event. We've gone from 1 to 4 in the past set of events.
Yeah, the technology, I got to tell you, the technology at this show is inspiring and cutting edge, and at the same time, it's a little overwhelming. You're telling me you can get me what? From how? From
right.
Who? But then again, I also look at it and say, getting online leads, that's not a good quality lead.
It's a click.
It's
and
a click.
I was actually talking to Reese about this a minute ago. What's the difference between a click? What's the terminology in their industry for a warm click to a click, to an opt-in, to a get, to a give? Yeah. And it's been my obsession at this show. And the only people that I've actually showed to my list, or anybody on the broadcast, or even put up on Facebook, or anywhere that I do it, I want you to get mad at me when I look at you and go, okay, what's your conversion ratio? And,
they don't.
No, there's 2 groups. If I go over to Quantum Leads, who I've said, I'm not here to bash them, they're selling a CRM, not leads. And a CRM is not leads. It's
the lead management software.
It's a lead management software, but you're baiting me on leads. So my question is, what's your conversion ratio using your product? Well, 0 to 100%. Monkey flying out of my butt is 0 to 100%.
Well, it's also an unfair question because it all depends on the
Correct.
user.
But the people who look at me and say...
you can't judge a system. You got to judge a system based on what it does and how effective the user uses it.
A trick question, even though it's a trick question when I pose, it should be answered as, you're asking a trick question.
You're asking if that's correct. That's
and the woman that I
question.
did it to down there with the display advertisement started to get mad and wanted to punch me while I was broadcasting, and I went, I'm going to do business with you. That's exactly how you should be. I am being a jerk. You should be upset. I was cornering you. I'm not at the booth behind you selling their product where they're going to tell me that a website's going to get me a lead that's going to convert to a listing. That's a lie. There's no way a startup website's going to get you a listing. No way. No way in the first 30 days that a startup website will get you a listing. There's no SEO on the planet that will make it.
No, it's not. I don't think. My interpretation of those companies is that it's to enhance the other marketing that you're doing to create credibility and lead capture, but it doesn't do the lead. It doesn't create the lead. It can capture leads if you do some other marketing that drives traffic to it.
So the $1 million question, do you pander to the 8 out of 10 who will be sucked in by the word lead, or are you looking for the 20% that will actually do?
That's the challenge with marketing, though, is that you've got to, if you told people the truth, right, you don't get a lot of business.
No, and we look at my model all the time. You've looked at my model. I mean, talked to David yesterday, and I'm sure Diana, who's watching this broadcast, would be the first to tell you, my model should be to the 80. I said, why do I want people using my product that aren't going to use the product, that are going to give it to their friends and ruin a product? They're not the people that should have my product anyway. Should I price it out of their range anyway? They're buyers at the end of the day. The product, my product works in spite of itself. Like, you can't screw it up almost. You have to physically work at my direct marketing not to work.
Well, your direct marketing makes the phone ring, no question, but you still have to be able to convert. You still have to be able to convert. You still have to be able to create rapport with the homeowner. You still have to be able to be educated to create value. You still have to understand how to list homes on the multiple listing service.
Correct.
I mean, there are things that you still have to have the core fundamental understanding of how to be a realtor. But where people miss it is there's an essential knowledge component of being a realtor, right? And then there's marketing and sales and presentation skills that come from that core understanding. But you need the core understanding to be able to go out and do the sales and marketing. I mean, if the phone rings and you go out and you know nothing about doing a listing presentation, you're still going to blow it.
You're going to blow it.
You're going to blow it. So you got to have the core fundamental understanding of what you do for a living. Now, how do I communicate that to the marketplace?
Right.
How do I get good leads coming to me? And that's the biggest challenge is getting the good leads, not just leads.
And that's what I've seen as core business models right now. We're looking at the way that, say, Short Sale Solutions, whose booth I'm at. We actually got a shot of the picture. You're out on the road right now teaching marketing classes and showing them how to fish. Because
Correct.
ultimately, if they don't have and I keep saying this, some of these are driven on the marketing end and some are driven on the product end. Well, you've got a great product, you've got a great CRM, but if I don't have the lead to stick into your CRM,
Doesn't mean anything.
Doesn't mean anything.
Has no
Don't
value.
have time for you.
Right.
You're not teaching me anything
It's a great
special.
operating system, but there's no application.
Why am I paying $395 a month to Infusionsoft if I don't have something to stick in that funnel?
Right.
Where do I get the data? Well, we'll show you how to get it. Well, how are you going to show me how to get it? Well, you start by having a data source. Well, okay, where do I get that data source? Well, you need to go to somebody and blah, 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 blah. You're not showing me. And that's where I kind of go individually to these booths. And I'm going to ask, look, I expect somebody to walk up to me and go, how many people am I going to get face-to-face with your marketing piece? I'll guarantee 20%. Guaranteed, give me your money back. That's an awfully lot. Like, I could not go to Quantum Leads right now. What is your guarantee face-to-face meeting?
No, they can't give you an answer like that.
Right. And the question that I posed for her, even with the digital display, was a cornered question. She goes, nobody could do that because it depends on the individual. I said, no. I figured out the loophole for it. But, again, even putting somebody face-to-face isn't the conversion, which is why Craig and Mike and Tom and all the... Look, at the end of the day, do I think that they're teaching tired techniques? Yeah, they're fairly tired. But they work. What are they really coaching? Conversion. Teaching rapport with the agent, teaching them how to be comfortable in their own skin. I don't have a problem with that. And I think, I'll give you an example. There are some real estate coaches here, not the big hitters, but people I've never heard of. I've been doing this for 7 years, and there are guys claiming to be the first display advertiser, the first this kind of marketer, really?
Never heard of them.
Never heard of you. You are so full of crap. That's why your eyes are brown.
Several real estate coaching companies here. I've never
heard of them.
I agree.
The guys who really do it are the guys who are out on the road. Do I have a problem with them? I'm competitive. I want to be better than them. So I'm always going to try to be the best coach. But do I knock Tom and Craig and Mike and all those guys? Look, they have results. They have results.
You can't knock those guys.
They're not here. You know why they're not here? They don't need to be here. There's a reason they're not.
Actually, Tom's at the Bank of America booth.
Is he really? Good for him. In fact, I'm doing an event speaking at the Luxury Home Expo, I think.
Is it Tom Perry?
Yeah, they got him to speak at it. It'll be the first time we're on this thing. I was just told about that one. I'm like, well, there you go. The worlds have collided. I can be on the same stage with all the people that and I just want to be the best at what I do. You want to be the best mortgage guy, right? You should be the #1 option. Isn't that the goal?
We like to think we are, but it's just like anything else. It's a matter of getting the word out as to what we do differently. It was funny, I went by each mortgage booth,
right?
Because there's no shortage of mortgage companies here either.
Oh my God, mortgage companies in this place are funny.
Yeah.
They have not gotten the memo from the banks that everybody sort of left the field of play.
So each one, they try and recruit me, right? And I have the same response to each one. I said, I tell you what, I'll make you a deal. If you have a better widget than I do, I'll quit my company right now and come to work for you. As long as you make the same deal that if I have a better widget than you, you'll quit your company and come work with me. And they're like, well, hold on. Are you telling me that if I have a superior widget, that you still want to stay with an inferior widget?
Right.
Yes. I mean, that's the end result. Yes. Okay, well, like, you people are all crazy.
No, they are.
You're just completely insane.
I'll give you an example of that desperation. I got an email yesterday, because you know I'm at NAR. They told me numbers for a commercial lender. These are flat rates that they're paying with commissions in it. It starts at 6 figures. That's the base salary, 6-figure start. Plus another 6-figure on top of it. And they asked me for my opinion of somebody to refer to them. And I was thinking to myself, I'm not a recruiter. I get why you did it. It's going to be someone you can trust. It's a good eye. At least it's a good candidate to look at. But in an industry, that person that they want is going to be someone like you. And someone like you isn't going to walk away from a book that you've already got that's already producing the same thing that you've already built.
Yes and no. I mean, my whole... I mean, we're not financial planners, so it's not like I'm managing a portfolio. I'm managing a client base. I'm managing a group
When I say
of
list, I always say it's a client list. You've got people that are funneling business to you.
But if somebody's got a better widget, my loyalty is to my clients, my loyalty is to my referral partners, my loyalty is to my strategic partners. If there's a better widget across the street, I'm walking across the street that second. Like, my loyalty is not to the company that I work for.
Right.
I am loyal to them from the standpoint of I need to do good work, I need to perform at a very high level, to make sure that the bar is very high every single day. But at the same time, my true loyalty is to my clients and my partners. And so if there's a better widget, man, I'm across the street tomorrow.
Okay, so let's bring up the other topic that you and I love to discuss, QE3.
Love QE.
I know you do.
When's
the dollar going to collapse?
You know what I call it.
You got gold bars under your...
I call it QE Unlimited.
QE Unlimited. All right, so...
It's not really QE3. QE3 was over.
It is over.
It just keeps on going.
So...
QE Unlimited.
What I keep trying to explain, and I did this in Las Vegas, I said, well, they probably should have hit the brakes before.
Do your watchers know what QE is?
Yes, they do, because they all get my emails, so they're all hit to that whole email series that I've sent out. For those of you who don't understand, bond buyback program, and it really basically controls the interest rate in the United States.
Mortgage rate.
Mortgage rate.
Yep.
So what we did is we froze REOs, we dumped a lot of money to keep people in their house, we put the brakes because they dropped the price on money so ridiculously low. Then Bernanke in his wisdom, and it all has to do with buying back the fake paper for the fake paper. That's really the discussion. For a guy who teaches fractional banking on my part, I always find this part funny.
The house of cards.
Fake paper for fake paper to buy a house that's tangible.
Okay.
All right. So you put the brakes on, you tried to do it before summer started, nobody let them really do it, so they waited till after summer to squeeze out the last few sales. You lay off everybody at the banks again because we're going to cut down on origination because the rates went up. Mortgage companies that all sprung up overnight are sort of dying on the vine.
Dying on the vine.
Dying on the vine.
Dude, the amount of companies that are on the verge of closing and massive layoffs is staggering.
You think it was asset management companies taking it in the butt last year?
Mortgage
companies are taking, because they all pop back.
So
We're
bad.
back. We're back.
We're back, baby.
Remember the Wells Fargo presentation? Florida's back. Florida's a hit. The truth is, we're going to go back to short sales. The truth is,
it's not that we're going to go back to short sales. Short sales are here for the next 3 to 5 years minimum. Right. 3 to 5 years. Like there's an argument and a counter argument that when the Federal Reserve, whenever that comes, stops buying mortgage-backed securities, and I have a new argument for you on that category, by the way. Right. But when that happens, and Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, Ginnie Mae have to go out to the marketplace now to sell mortgage-backed securities, that the market isn't going to pay 4% for 30-year bonds. They're just not going to do it. So the only way Fannie, Freddie, and Ginnie Mae are going to be able to raise the capital to sell the bonds is they're going to have to raise the yields, which means mortgage rates are going to go up. When mortgage rates go up, property values go down. So I look at that because normally mortgage rates would go up with inflation, which means housing prices go up with inflation, right? But that's not what's going to happen. Mortgage rates are going to go up because it's not the Federal Reserve, it's not the Fed funds rate. That's the short-term interest rate that the Fed uses for bank-to-bank lending. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about long-term, 30-year fixed mortgage-backed securities, which have nothing to do with the Fed funds rate. So if the Fed backs out, mortgage rates go up with no inflation, you're going to see property values get crushed if that happens. Now, here's the counter-argument, right? And I just got this a week ago, and it was like, what? You know what? I don't think I have a good argument for that. That's a new way of looking at it.
All right, propose.
So the guy said, Eric, the Fed is going to keep buying mortgage-backed securities. And I said, for how long? He said, indefinitely. And I said, that's not possible.
Yes, it is. You print the money.
It's $40 to $80 billion a month.
If you make the money, you can indefinitely buy back your own. That's
his argument. And I said, but at what point? He says, at no point. I agree. But that math doesn't. So he says, Eric, let me give you a precedent. And I said, a precedent?
It's been done
Give me
before.
a precedent. He says, Japan, last 20 years. I was like, oh, that's a good argument.
I would agree.
But I want you to think about that, brother. The Fed buying mortgage-backed securities for the next 20 years?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to talk about a prolonged ripping off the Band-Aid for 20 years.
Right. And
that is not good.
Wait, now we go back to Justin's argument, which was, so we see him bring it up, they plateau it, you leak it, you drop it, you go back up, you leak it, you drop it, you go back.
Correct.
So now you're talking, For those of you who don't get the hand motions, it's up, crank back, go up, crank back, go up, crank back. To do that, you've got to continue to stick money into homeowners who cannot pay their mortgage.
Yeah, man.
They keep HARP alive every year.
But I look at that and I just go, property values can't spike up at all.
Ever. It would never happen again.
Certainly not for the next 20 years.
Correct.
And so at best, they're flat. At best.
But what we've seen with 5% correction over the last 90 days, we're doing a backslide.
Yeah. Because
there's no inventory. And now with auction.com coming in as a third party with NationStar, the liquidation of REOs and assets, to get maximized fair market value.
Yeah, there's more inventory coming into the market.
That means more inventory coming into the market, which means certainly a saturation of product, which means a decline in price. Which for those that keep saying short sales are over, you are so wrong.
So wrong. So wrong.
So wrong.
So wrong.
And I just talked to David about this. He goes, in the last 90 days, I've seen a spike in short sale activity.
I would love for your viewers to get this point straight, and because it's really, really critical. So, short sales, what you're talking about is not that we're going to see a spike in short sales, we're going to see a spike in defaults.
Defaults.
Wow. Different. Right? Because short sales, like your marketing program, can work just as well with homeowners that are not in trouble.
Oh, they've worked with probate or anything. Look, I had changed my model intentionally so that it's all, as long as I have a public data source, my product works.
Yeah.
Okay, so I can use Red X, I can use whatever. The reason I pick short sales, the reason I qualify someone in foreclosure is a very simple reason. You have to sell. The only way to make this whole program work that you've outlaid, to fix fractional processing and the whole package, you have to liquidate a bad asset. You have to. That's the only way to stabilize the market. And for some reason, the Democratic system that's in place, and or vice versa, the Republican system that's in place, has decided the only way to retain their votes and to keep themselves alive as a government, because it would be anarchy. People started being thrown out of their houses.
Oh my God.
1 million at a time.
Oh my God.
It would be anarchy in the country.
Yeah.
So what we're talking, and this is a conspiracy, there are 1 million people who have been foreclosed upon. There are 1 million homes with, various levels of people living in them, that if they were liquidated and people were thrown out and the assets did go to India or China or wherever they were bought.
No question. No question.
It would be anarchy. We saw it with Occupy Our Homes and Occupy Wall Street. People were being thrown out and there were vacant houses. People didn't tolerate it and they revolted. This is a historical fact that's happened within the last 3 years. We have a precedent for it. And that was on a very tiny scale of trying to liquidate REOs. Very tiny the last time they tried. Immediately following that, they froze REOs. They immediately pumped money into HARP to keep people in the house. So now we get back to the how long can you keep buying your own mortgage-backed securities?
Yeah, but anybody who could have done HARP did it. I mean, they have to change the program. And there's talk about principal reductions, but that's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. No bank's going to walk away from a ledger balance.
Nope.
Unless you're going to print more fake money to offset.
And you're setting just an unbelievably bad precedent. Oh, you borrowed $400,000, but you want to only pay $200,000 and stay in your house? No.
Right. Settle the debt.
If you want a short sale and walk away and settle the debt, that's different. That's different.
A settlement. It is what it is.
That's what a short sale is.
It's a settlement.
Correct. That all day, every day.
And it gets you around the securitized portfolio. It washes the situation.
Yeah.
It washes past the ponds.
Which is why we're so excited about our ability to help homeowners that are underwater do a short sale, sell the house, get the judgment thing waived out of the way, not ruin your credit, buy a house the next day. If you're making a $600,000 mortgage payment on a $400,000 house, why wouldn't you make a $600,000 mortgage payment on an $800,000 house? It's the same payment. It's the same mortgage. Why are you living in half the house you could be living in? There's no logic behind it whatsoever. You don't ruin your credit. It's a free service. Now it's just a matter of the realtors being able to generate the leads, good leads, which is why they can use your system to generate those good leads.
Good segue. Now you're out on the road. You're doing the wine and food festival.
Yeah, we are.
We're on the wine circuit.
We are having a ton of fun with it, brother. We've got
wine tasting and marketing.
This week we're in Redondo Beach. This Thursday we're in San Diego the following week. And then I think we're going to have 2 more events yet this year, and then in January we're going to be doing 2 events a week, every week, all throughout California, Arizona, Colorado, Utah, Washington, Oregon. You know, we're going to be in Florida probably 3-4 times this upcoming year. It's we're having just a ton of fun, and it's really exciting watching the feedback from the realtors in the events going, oh my God, like you just showed me, because the whole premise is you can get 100 listings in the next 6 months.
Easily.
100 listings in the next 6 months. And most realtors, they disconnect and say, well, look, Eric, I'd be happy with 2. You know what, if you only want 2 listings in the next 6 months, don't come to my workshop. If you want 100 listings in the next 6 months, come to a workshop, we'll show you how to do it.
I've had to lower
expectations. And if they used your marketing strategy, it would be 100 listings in the next 2 months.
It would be, yeah.
It would be crazy.
My running joke used to be 20 in 30 days, and that was setting the bar so ridiculously low that I didn't know what to do with it.
It is.
And again, Diana's sitting by a phone, 213-706-0040. Get the NAR price. Give them a website.
www.statedincomeisback.com. Statedincomeisback.com. You can see all our events on that website and all our content. It is back. No tax returns, conventional rates.
What a deal. 3%, 4%, 5%? Can I buy? Can I buy down the rate?
4s to 5s. You don't want to. You don't want to. It's a Band-Aid. It's a way to get into financing until your tax returns are indicative thereof. So it's a 5 to 7 year fix, but it's rates in the 4s and 5s with no tax returns.
Okay, sell me on home ownership. Why would I want to buy a period if I'm a buyer that somehow... For those that are buyers...
Home ownership is not an asset.
Correct.
Right, if you read Rich Dad, Poor Dad...
It's just a write-off for your taxes.
Well, you get the interest is 100% tax deductible, and it's a home for your family. But it's not an asset, it's a liability.
Correct.
When you read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, which is one of my favorite books ever written, it clearly explains that an asset is something that pays you.
Correct.
A liability is something you pay. Right? Therefore, a home is not. There's nobody unless your primary residence is a 4-plex, and you've got 3 rentals as a part of your property. Now you got an asset, right? But if you just buy a single-family home, it's not about appreciation. It's about having a home for your family. I advocate home ownership as a part of having a stable family life and a way to build a life. You know, if you're going to buy a house as a primary residence, and you might move in the next 2 or 3 years, I would say don't buy a house. Rent. Unless you're going to keep that house as a rental property when you move, then it's a good idea, right? That's a great strategy to become a real estate landlord, a real estate owner, right? Then it's great. But if you're buying a primary residence thinking that house is going to appreciate 5% per year for the next
based on the way the market is structured currently, you're a short sale next year. That's the current rate. But will the number come back in 20 years? Yeah, it's a historical
20 years, but that's not a good investment strategy. You want to buy real estate based on cash flow, not based on appreciation.
I agree.
If you're buying it based on appreciating, you're speculating, you're gambling.
That seems to be everybody's big sales point. Buyers agents always do these. Well, this is going to be such a great investment down the road. You just want to live there.
That's a terrible strategy.
I was reading Penn Jillette's book recently, and he built this thing that he calls the Slammer, and it was a custom made. It's basically a big giant block, but it's how he wanted it. And the reason I bring it up, he was here at the show yesterday with Keller, and it would have been.
Were they really?
Yeah, they were here autographing.
Oh, I love them. I love them. Okay.
Penn brought up a great point, and it would have been great to get him on video talking about him, which was a friend of his brought up a great point. Are you building the house to sell? Because it had no resale value the way he was building it. Somebody brought it up. Or are you building a house that you want to live in for the rest of your life? I said, I want a house that I'll live in for the rest of my life. And he goes,
Then don't worry about
what you're spending, and don't worry about its resale value.
That's correct.
If you're picking out a house, it's something for you to live in. If you're talking short term, go lease something. You're not going to get the kick on the rate that you're looking for. With
I agree.
The turbulent market, you could possibly slide at this point. Will it gain if it's going to be 5 or 10 years down the road? Yeah, you will. It's a historical fact. I can look at the history of real estate and go, this will someday down the road be in a position.
But again, that's not the reason to buy.
I agree. But if I'm a buyer's agent these days, and I talk to buyer's agents, well, that's a sales point. No, it's not.
No, it's not.
You're selling them on the wrong thing.
That's correct.
Because at the end of the day, you never technically own the property you're on anyway.
Well, you own it. The bank has a lien. You own it. The bank has a lien. The bank can't foreclose if you make your payment.
City wants property because that's where new power lines
Eminent
are.
domain. You're going to talk about eminent domain? Yeah, it depends on where you buy. That can be. Yeah, but they have to buy it from you at or above market value. But it's still a.
But I want to live there forever. I don't want them to take my house. How many times have we seen that guy? They're not going to.
Yeah.
You haven't paid me here, and they're going to pry that house from your cold dead hands.
They will.
They will.
They will.
They will, and I'm the first guy to stand. As a banker, I'm here to tell everybody, they will. People don't understand the disconnect. It's still a property.
There's risk in everything, man. There's risk in everything. There's risk in walking across the street. But home ownership, you know, and I speak as an immigrant from Canada, and I know people say, oh, Canada, that's like the 51st state. It's like, no, it's a radically different culture. But as an immigrant to the United States, the dream of home ownership, the tax deductibility of your interest payment, you know, it's amazing to be able to own your own home, own your own land, own your own real estate here in the United States. Being able to invest in properties that will create a return on investment for you that you can manage. And it's an amazing structure and strategy that we have in this country that doesn't exist in other countries. And I speak from first-hand experience. You know, in Canada, the interest on your mortgage is not tax deductible. There's no such thing as a 30-year fixed mortgage with no prepayment penalty. That stuff doesn't exist in Canada.
Right.
And so Americans have to really understand the value of the system here and stop complaining about what you don't have and start appreciating what you do have. At the same time, have a clear understanding of the numbers in the marketplace and stop listening to the friends and family who don't understand real estate as to where your decisions should be made. I'm telling you right now, if you're a realtor watching this, and you think real estate values are going to go up 5% a year over the next 3 to 5 years, you are completely insane and not looking at the numbers. That is rhetoric that somebody is feeding you that you're not validating somewhere. If you're looking at the true marketplace, and you're saying, I want to create value for people. I want to create value for everybody I come into contact with. Having a marketing strategy to create strong leads so that you can drive a strong, unique value proposition, strong message into the marketplace, helping them clearly understand that they're paying money on a mortgage that's underwater with no hope in the next 3 to 5 years of getting into an equity position. Why would you do that? And if you can offer them a free service, and let's be clear, that's when you do a short sale listing, your services are free.
Right.
Your fee is being paid for by the bank. You are offering a free service to help homeowners.
Which is why you should call Short Sale Solutions.
Absolutely. Short Sale Solutions.
ShortSalesApproved.com. If nothing more, just because they have the most clever booth.
It is a clever booth.
It's way beyond clever. Look, the man steel thing by itself. I don't know why they're not all superhero underwear.
It's cute.
You should. That would be perfect side by side.
It is cute. Say that again. ShortSalesApproved.com.
ShortSalesApproved.com.
They're wonderful, and
they got a deal yesterday. Somebody ponied up and went to the website, based on what I've been told. Correct? Somebody came through the website yesterday.
I've got several people that are calling me.
Yay! So, but again,
I'm a good marketer.
Any realtor that's negotiating their own short sale, you know, that is just completely insane.
100% non-commission touch. Period. That's the end of the statement. It doesn't cost you any money as
they do all the work.
They do all the work.
What's the counter argument?
There's no counter argument other than, we did this with Marlene yesterday because she's a broker as well. Well, I want to work equity listings. They're twice as hard. It's emotional.
10 times as hard.
10 times as hard.
You have to charge that homeowner 6% now.
Not only that, they're going to want a price that isn't reasonable or rational. Now we're talking the expired funnel. Ooh.
I love the expired. I love the expired. Can I tell you
is there a number, like if you're the third expired agent or the second expired agent? I mean, where's the real sweet spot on expired?
I think you have to have a unique value proposition. Let me tell you, you go after your expireds with a message of, a lot of the expireds are coming off the market because the homeowner thought they had equity.
Right.
Put it on the market. Oops, I don't have equity. Come off the market because they think they can't get a short sale negotiated with no default, so they have to default, ruin their credit. No, you call ShortSalesApproved.com, get it negotiated with no default, explain to the homeowner that you can get out of this house, not pay any money, it doesn't cost anything, it won't ruin your credit, you know, that's a great strategy.
Which, for those of you that do short sales, I will give another push for a company that's here, Cosigner.
Yeah, the rental.
Yeah, I've known them they've been around now, this is their second year of doing this, where they will take the position for bad credit people to co-sign for them to lease the place. That's phenomenal. That's the other knock. Well, they're not going to leave. Where are they going to go? Cosigner.com. I've been pushing them forever, and they're not a unique service. There are a couple of them that do this.
Well, if you're a landlord, how do you not?
Everybody that comes in.
But if I'm a landlord, you want to rent my unit, you're going to pay this fee,
right?
Because I need an assurance policy that if you default on the rent, that I'm still getting paid. If I'm a landlord, that's a mandatory. That's one of the 6. That's a mandatory. You must have. Like, I just saw that for the first time. I was like, why doesn't every landlord use you? Like, I don't know.
The first time I saw them at NAR 2 years ago, I looked at them and I said, how do you not have a line? A line of people waiting to sign up with.
That's correct. I don't understand it. Every landlord in the U.S. Like, that's like me as a lender giving a mortgage to somebody without a title policy.
Right.
You must buy title insurance.
You must do it. Well, here, I'll give you an example. On the other side, right?
I'm not even negotiating it.
On the other side, there's a guy who's got free folders. All they do, right?
Yeah.
Okay, they put some display advertising, but it's free to you as a broker.
Why isn't there a line out
Why
the door?
isn't there a line?
A line out the door.
A line of people.
I don't know.
Because, well, Quantum Leap has shinier shirts.
Dude, it's incredible.
It is. And you walk around and you find these 6 little buckets.
Yeah.
Resales, I was literally walking with my camera going, all right, just tell me the price. I realized I got sucked into the vortex. Because it's free. Why isn't there a line of agents? You'll socially media broadcast. They're basically Facebook for free.
Dude, I don't know. I got nothing.
You're going to set up a group. I'm a broker for my entire office for free. Oh yeah, we work with coaches and everybody, and we'll set up private groups and do the whole. We'll put up display advertisement for your events. Free.
What's it cost?
Free. Why is
there no line? I know, no line.
Where's the line?
Everybody's busy.
Where do I stand in line?
I don't know.
I don't get that. Again, same thing with Short Sales Approved.
I got nothing.
It's free. How's there not a line of people?
You guys know that Short Sales Approved is free?
Free. The service is free. Free. We're rebranding them. Free. I'm going to walk around the show and find all
They do all the work for you for free.
Free.
We're online right now doing a webinar.
Free.
Helping people understand that why.
Want another freebie?
Short sale negotiators negotiate all the do all the heavy. Free. They're paid by the bank.
Free. None of your commission. Zero. None. Free.
And I don't understand why there's a line of 150
There's a guy with 3 folders in the next aisle. There's no line over there. Free.
Every booth in this place is free.
Social networking. Free. It's free. It's now free. Well, they may have changed their model, but they figured out the right model by now.
Because the right model is what?
Free.
Always the best.
If it doesn't cost you anything, or next to nothing,
that's my favorite word. My favorite word in the whole English language. Free.
Not free. We have fiancés. It's not free.
Never free.
Never free.
But when it's good, it's worth it.
It is.
When it's good.
We don't want to go there because that's not going to be
free.
No. No, the other one's watching, I'm sure, on the camera.
Hi, Diana.
Who's sitting by the phone waiting to buy shoes? 213-706.
Everybody call Diana.
Give me your number again so they can get them.
888-696-1344. Toll free. 888-696-1344.
I'll be back at 3 o'clock. I'll go find more free stuff, and I'll probably trot it out as my final session and show you all the free. Cosigner, how much does it cost? Free. Nothing for you.
The landlord, it's free.
It's free.
And you're guaranteed to get your rent. Like, it's insane. It's completely insane.
Free.
I know. It's just incredible.
All right, I'll see you guys at 3 o'clock with another broadcast.
Thanks, guys.